Thank you very much for giving me this chance. I have missed much of the, because I just came at the practically at the end, so I must have missed very good point that must have been made by earlier speakers. I would like to say that the point which was made by the lady present here, management education, in my humble opinion, is the victim of misregulation and over-control. I think it is one of those professional educations which have never been given the due status of professional education, either by the government or by the university. It is one education which started on a very high pedestal. You know, in the 1960s, when the IIMs were established, the model was almost international. And so also the universities which started, the selected 4 universities, Bombay, Madras, Calcutta and Delhi, they had high standards. But what happened over time, and at that time, All India Board of Management Education, it was an independent body, had the regulatory power, and we had very outstanding people like Gandhi and others as the chairpersons of those, and they were the ones who were guiding management education. But unfortunately, when AICT came in, it made management education as a subcategory of technical education, and thereby completely, changed the character of the education. And similarly, the universities treated the management department as one of the departments instead of treating them like a medical college, or engineering college, which are professional institutions with multidisciplinary departments, applied orientation, close interface with industry. And I would say, therefore, you see what has happened is that the present state that we are seeing is primarily because of very misguided kind of regulation that has taken place, which has done so much damage to management education. And the idea of a separate council, we have been, for the last almost a decade, we have been trying to do that, so that we get the right kind of stature. And it is guided by professionals, by educators, and not by bureaucrats. And I think that is the story of the higher education also generally. But what has happened to higher education is that higher education has been given a second, it was always, unfortunately, in the last 3-4 decades, it was assumed that if you just concentrate on primary education, higher education will take care of itself. It was the star of the story. And greater controls were brought in, which jeopardized its development of quality universities and quality institutions. So you see, we are today caught up in a situation where, as we said, there is a huge mushroom of institutions and of all kinds of quality, as you all know. But you also see within the same framework institutions which are striving hard to come up and ensure quality. But the odds against the institutions which are trying to come up are so great because of the regulatory system. I know, for example, here Father Abraham Institute. Their institution, XLRI, wanted to start a new course. Now, AICT, with its absolutely out of date and anachronistic regulations, they would say you have to have a dedicated faculty for that, you have to have separate faculty for that, and so on and so forth. And all kind of draconian rules which are applied to good institutions. And poor institutions, as I just pointed out, are being given freely all kinds of permissions. So you see, this is where the problem is arising, that we are not getting the right kind of environment for quality education to come up in management. Here is a situation in which you have very bright students, and they are not good institutions. And I think, as was pointed out by Father Abraham, another aspect which has been of greatest constraint to the development of management education is the shortage, an acute shortage of faculty. Where I would even blame the IIMs for not taking the responsibility for developing the faculty and doctoral programs that would free faculty to do various institutions. And second, there has been a tremendous shortage of research, case writing, and teaching material, which is critical for professional education. And that also is a role which universities and the IIMs should play. But I'm afraid everybody is in the bandwagon of having highly lucrative MBA programs with a very high fee, and therefore the whole process has got over commercialized, and the whole purpose of having quality education is getting limited in the process. So I think unless and until we deal with these basic issues of regulation, of development of faculty, of development of research orientation, and address the supply side by encouraging good quality institutions and curbing the growth of poor quality institutions, I don't see any possibility of real change in this matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you.